you all have had a dynamic day. I pray that your week is going spectacular. I pray that you are well. I pray that your family is well. I pray that you made the most of your day. I pray that you smiled. I pray that the only tears that you shed on today were tears of absolute joy because you see all of the amazing things that God is doing in your life. I pray that you looked around today in sheer gratitude of how blessed you are for the life that you have. And even if it's not exactly what you want it to be, my prayer is that you transition your mindset to understand that God has given you the power to change what your life looks like when you come into agreement with Him and His Word. So, welcome to Transformational Mondays. I am Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help women overcome mindsets that prevent profit, progress, and prosperity so that they can move in their purpose with passion and ultimately prosper while transforming the lives of others. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share this live with about 2, 3, 4, 5 people if you feel it in you. So we're going to be done. This is what, almost 10:19 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be done within 15 minutes because you know what? This week is really full for me. Last week was a pleasantly fulfilling full week. I'm not sure if you all remember, I was sharing that I hosted the Mindset to Movement Summit on last week. And let me tell y'all, it was absolutely spectacular. It was amazing. It was transformational. People's lives were changed, and what it showed me was, good evening as y'all come on in, make sure you share this live with about 2 or 3 people. Hi Zelda, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. But what it showed me was the power of getting out of your own way. You realize I am wonderful, and I pray that you are well. You realize just how much that your gift is not about you, but it's about the transformation of other people. So tonight I'm going to actually share with you all 3 strategies because my brand is all about going from mindset to movement. Because I understand that so many people, I want you all to type in the chat, number 1, if you all have an idea, if there is something, I do not. I do not. In terms of, I don't, I'll just say that. This live is not about that, but to answer your question, I do not support the lifestyle because of my beliefs in the Word of God and Jesus Christ. So I want to share with you all the the 3 mindsets, right? The 3 things that you must do and have in order to go from mindset to movement. And the goal is that you get off of all of the negativity, all of the doubt, and transition into implementation. One of the biggest things that I noticed that stops so many people from moving into their idea, moving into their purpose, writing the book, starting the business, growing the nonprofit organization, taking their businesses to the next level is fear. And it's amazing how fear can really cripple you and stifle you. So tonight I want to share with you all 3 things that you must do and have in order to go from mindset to movement. So, number 1, in order to take that idea off of the shelf of your mind and actually implement it and move into it, is you must have the right mindset. I want y'all to put right, if you're taking notes, I want somebody even to type in the chat, right mindset, right? I want you to write that to be the first thing that you write down. And here's the reason why. The right mindset is important for a plethora of reasons. Number 1, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As many people share their successes on social media about how much money they've made, 7, 8 figures, 6 figures, however much money they're making every month, a lot of people don't tell you that the ideas that they started with or the ideas that they have don't always work all of the time, nor at the time that they desire for it to work. And sometimes along the journey, you're disappointed. Sometimes you take losses. One of my guests last week, Takivia Sawyer, shared how she took a $14,000 loss, right? And a lot of people have taken huge and major losses on their journey in entrepreneurship. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything is going to go perfect. You're not going to make any mistakes, because that would be a complete lie, right? A complete lie. Hmm. What is that about? That's different. Okay. Hi, TJ. I'm not sure what that is about. I think I would have received a notification. That's different. Um, let's see. Hold on, y'all. Um, let's see. Hold on. I have to check the validity of something. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll just have to. Good evening, TJ. Good evening, y'all. Um, I don't know what that's about, so I'll have to find that out. But anyway, you want to make sure that you have the right mindset, because everything doesn't always go well. Everything does not always go as perfect as you desire, right? So you have to have the right mindset so that when things don't go well, and even when you don't get the traction, even when you're discouraged, even when you don't see the money come in, because frankly, sometimes the money doesn't come in as quickly or at the rate that you desire, right? So you want to make sure that you always work on your mind. One of the things that we always do in my academy is the first thing we work on is mindset. The thing that we consistently work on is mindset. And the reason why is you need it along your journey. I don't care if you're at level 1 and you're desiring to go to level 2, or if you're on level 10 and you're desiring to go to whatever the next level is for your life and your business. You have to work on your mindset, because with each new level comes with an additional level of responsibility. So you want to make sure that you always work on your mindset. Number 2, you want to make sure, in order to go from mindset to movement, you want to make sure that you have clarity. You want to make sure that you have clarity. You want to be crystal clear personally as to who you are and your business, right? So personally, you want to have personal clarity. One of the things that I was talking to someone last week, and I always share this, that if your personal life is jacked up, it is very difficult and challenging to move forward in your purpose and help others, because you're everywhere. When you lack clarity, it's like putting on blurred glasses. Have you ever put on some very dirty glasses? It made it very difficult to see. The same thing holds true when you're talking about moving from whatever level that you're at and then transitioning into your business, right? You want to make sure that you have the right mindset, right? And you want to have clarity. When you're clear on who you are, when you're clear on the solution that you provide to the world, when you're clear on in your personal life, right? When there is clarity personally, it's easy to actually show up in the marketplace. Number 2, you want to make sure that you have clarity in the marketplace, in your business. What does this look like? You want to know who you've been called to serve. You want to be crystal clear on who you've been called to serve, right? Why is that important? Well, the product or the service that you have created, or the idea that God has given you, is not for you, it's for them. So you want to understand what their struggle is, what challenges it is that they're facing that are in alignment with the solution that you provide. You want to be clear on what is keeping them awake at night. What is bothering them? What is nagging them? What is troubling them? What is their biggest struggle? So that you then only create things that will provide them a transformation from where they are to where they desire to be. So you got to be clear on who you serve, right? And we're almost done. Let's see. You need to be clear on the product or the service that you provide, so that when you communicate it to them, it's very clear and it's not something that they're trying to figure out, okay, what is he or she saying? Because when people lack clarity, they will not make a move. They much less spend their money, right? And number 3, in order to transition, you want to make sure that you have the right environment and connections. I said this, I read as a believer in Jesus Christ, I have coined this phrase of what I like to call brother Joseph, because you know there are 2 Josephs in the Bible, right? Joseph, the brother of many colors, and then with the coat of many colors, and then there's Joseph, who is Jesus's father, right, in the Bible. But we know that Jesus, his real father, is God. But anyway, when we talk about brother Joseph in the Old Testament, what helped Joseph to impact others and what made people know about Joseph was other people. Even when Joseph was incarcerated, there were people, who then told Pharaoh about Joseph's gift. So what this always reminds me is that word of mouth, right? You have to make sure that you're connected to the right people. Because when you're connected to the right people and you have the right product and the right service and you treat people right, guess what? The right people are going to go tell more people, and then they're going to send more people. Your environments and your connections matter. And you must always remember that. Your environments and your connections influence your internal environment. It's amazing, because I have a coach of my own. It's amazing that when I attend our live sessions, it is amazing how fueled and how pumped up I get from being in the presence with the right people. Think about it. When you go into a room or environments where there are negative people, it's like they drain the life out of you. But when you go into environments where people are not only just motivating, but they're transformational, where they challenge you to be a better version of yourself, where they encourage you instead of tear you down, it makes a huge difference. So you want to make sure that you have the right mindset, that you constantly are always working on yourself. You're constantly personally developing. You're watching and you're being careful about the things that you listen to, the things that you meditate on, the people that you surround yourself with. And number 2, you want to make sure that you have clarity, personal clarity as to who you are. You want to make sure that the personal aspect of your life is healthy, so that you can then help lives of others. And you also want to be clear on who you serve and what their challenges are. And number 3, in order to go from mindset to movement, you want to make sure that you're connected to the right people and are always in the right environments. So I hope this has helped you all. Make sure you click the link below and get your hands on the free gift of 5 tips that I want to share with you all, so that you can position yourself to profit from your purpose. I hope that you all have a spectacular day, and remember to know your worth. Good night, y'all. Bye.